Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Steve with Underground Jiu-Jitsu and Underground Strength Performance here in the North Texas area of Dallas. So I wanted to hop on here because nutrition and what to eat has got to be probably the top 5 questions that any trainer gets asked at any one time. And it is an incredibly simple answer to work with, but it's so easy to overwhelm somebody and to really make it harder than it needs to be. So I want to take this video out now, 2 parts on this. I'm going to make a separate video that gets a little bit more into the details, a little bit more into the science of it, but I wanted to make out a quick video that you can get started up today and start up on your nutrition plan. All right. Now, first thing is there are so many different options out there, and they all work to a certain degree between keto, carnivore, if you know your macros, Atkins, the Zone diet, Weight Watchers, showing my age a little bit when I talk about Zone and Atkins. But there are so many different variables out there and so many different options for your nutrition to where it can be a little overwhelming because you don't know exactly where to start or which is the best option for you. And here, I got a secret for you. They all work. They all work and they don't work. Because what they do is they put you into a caloric deficit. That is the number one common trait that they all have, is they put you into a caloric deficit. But then when you go off the diet or off your plan, then you continue to go back to the way that you eat, and that's where that weight starts to come back on. So we want to make this super, super simple and super easy, so that way, number one, like I said, it's simple, but then also, number two, it's sustainable. We want to be able to replicate this over and over and over again and make it a one-stop shop. All right. Now, before I get started up on the presentation with this, I need to give 2 shout outs. Number one, this is not my plan. This is not my program. I heard about this from a very well-known trainer, Jordan Sayed. So huge props and huge credit to him for coming up with this. I like the way that it's very simplistic, like he approaches it, and it's something to where it's easy to do. It's super easy to do, and you can maintain it all the way through. Second thing is, and this is kind of one of those things that, the lawyers basically talk about, is if you're going to change anything with your nutrition, talk to your doctor. This is not a specific meal plan. I'm not a registered dietitian, nor am I a clinical nutritionist. So any of the recommendations on here is strictly for informational purposes only. All right? So Martha will be happy with that. I basically did include that. Also, if you're on medication for anything having to relate to blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, any kind of medical condition to where your doctor's involved, talk to your doctor before you make any changes up on that. So now that we've talked about that, let's dive down into this. All right, like I said, this is going to be a short and sweet version, so that way you can get started up today. But I'm going to make another video that gets a little bit more into the meat and potatoes of what's actually going on with this. All right, so first and foremost, when we're talking about calories, it's an issue of how many calories do I need to eat? How many calories do I need to take in every day? Here's the simple version of this. Simple. You take your goal body weight, not your lean mass, not whatever you want to do with this, not what you think you need to be at, but what your goal body weight is. All right. And so let's say, for example, your goal body weight is 160. Let's say that you're 180, 190 right now. Your goal body weight is 160. So you're going to take 160 times 12. And that's going to sit there and give you a number right there, which is 1920 calories, 1,920 calories. But we're going to round down to 1,900 calories to make it very simple at that point. All right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Steve, this is super simple. It's stupid. It's so simple. And you're right. It is. But here's the thing, is it works. It works beautifully. Now, I'm going to dive into more of the maintenance calories and the cut calories later on, but let's just get started up on this and start the ball rolling. All right? So now, you're going to eat 1,900 calories, plus minus, every day, Monday through Saturday. Okay? Or actually Sunday through Saturday, however you want to look at it. But you're not going to take a day off. But here's the great thing about this, is that if you basically do really well Monday through Friday, and then you go out with the girls, you go out with the guys on Saturday, and you have some chips, a margarita, and oh wow, I just went over my calorie count. So basically say, fuck it, I'm done, that's it, I blew the whole thing. Don't worry about it, guys. You wouldn't do the same thing with your kids if they, bomb a test. Okay, you basically dust off, you start practicing for the next time. That's all you're going to do with that. All right? So don't sit there and just get overwhelmed and disappointed and kick yourself, when you're down with that. Okay? So that's the first number you're going to look at is 1,900 calories. Second of all, how much protein do I need to be taking in? All right? Protein is an essential component with this, but it's not the only one, but it's the second number that we're going to focus on for this process today. All right? So real simple. You're going to take 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. So if your goal body weight is 160, simple. You're going to have 160 grams of protein a day. If your goal body weight is 130, then you're going to take in 130 grams of protein per day. Super simple. And I realize that most people are sitting there thinking, oh gosh, that's so much protein, I can't do it. Once you start tracking, you'll realize that protein is in almost every single food item that we actually have. So it does make it easy. It's easy to come back in with this. All right. Now, a couple things. In order to do this successfully, you've got to track. Get an app out there. Get, Macros X. Get, MyFitnessPal. It doesn't matter which program that you get, but track your calories. So that way you know where you're at. And again, like I said, you're only focusing up on 2 numbers. Your calories and your protein. Don't worry about carbohydrates. Don't worry about fats. Because if you stay within those 2 numbers, it all adds up. All right? Now, also, one other thing. Don't get stuck on the numbers. If you happen to get 1850 one day and 1950 the next day, it balances out. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Like I said, if you go over one day, oh well. Sit there and just start up the next day. No big deal. If you've seen Lion King, if you remember that from 1994, it's in the past. Just let Rafiki be your guide on this and say it's in the past. All right? So, do me a favor. Try this for the next 30 days. See how it works. I guarantee you it will actually make you'll see results with this. And then we'll start talking about when we want to go back up to maintenance and maintain for a little bit. So that way your set point, your body gets adjusted that. And so when you're ready to go for the next cut, boom, your body's sensitive and it does react to that. All right, guys, like I said, I'm setting this out pretty quick. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.